What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news. Some more new news concerning Robert Garcia. Robert Garcia says once again that Anthony Joshua needs a stricter camp. It appears that Anthony Joshua is on the hunt again, of course, for a new trainer after losing to Alexander Usyk in 2021. He did the same thing this year. And Garcia coached Joshua in the rematch versus Usyk, but the former two-time heavyweight champion and British star fell short once again. And Roberto Garcia said because everything was kind of easy and quick for him, he thought that that was the right way to do it, that he didn't need to do it another way, Garcia said. But when the time comes for this kid of fight, such as Usyk, with fighters on a higher level, tougher fighters, harder fights, you need a stricter camp where he follows indications. Joshua is a dedicated fighter. He does and listens to what he is told to do, but maybe he thinks that he was a champion without doing that much or without commitment. But when you are fighting against opponents like Usyk, that's something different. He said, so when I'm ready, I'll get back in the ring. You know what it is. I ain't champion, and that's just hurting a lot. Okay, that's what he said. Let me counterpunch based on what Robert Garcia said. He's saying that even though Anthony Joshua is teachable, even though he listens to his camp, what he's told to do from his camp, he doesn't do it enough. And based on what he sees from AJ, that his training camps are not tough enough, obviously, because he wasn't able to up the ante on the 9th, after the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. See, what could have happened in that fight, according to Robert Garcia, if he would have had a tougher training camp, if he would have had stricter and tougher opposition and people pressed him more, if that would have happened, he would have been more conditioned. So when he did start that onslaught in rounds 9, that same thing could have been duplicated round 10, round 11, and round 12. But what did happen? AJ kind of let off the gas. People blamed it on stamina issues. But according to Robert Garcia, that's up to him having a lackadaisical training camp. Easy. He said that needed to be tougher because tougher training camps resort in tougher fighters. Tougher fighters resort in better fights. Okay. And I did notice AJ wasn't the same, like he didn't have the same tenacity. If he would have kept that same energy that he did in round 9, in round 10, and around 11 and 12, he would have won that fight. Because remember, it was a closer fight on the scorecards. Okay, so it's really not about who's getting knocked out or whatever, because there has not been any knockdowns between Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua in 24 rounds. Okay, so we haven't seen that at all. Okay, and I do feel that Robert is now letting everything go. He's letting everything flow. You know, he's telling everything from the Diddle I Joe to damned if I know. Bars about Anthony Joshua. And obviously that had to be something in the camp, like I said before in my latest video discussing these two guys, that he didn't like. You know, now it could be a situation where obviously he didn't train hard enough if he gassed out after the 9th, right? And that's just maybe that go-to answer, like, okay, why wasn't Anthony Joshua able to up the ante 9, 10, and 11 and 12, or 10, 11, and 12, simply because he should be able to do that based on his training. Basically, what Robert's saying, obviously, whatever he does, dedicated or whatever he's dedicating himself to, it wasn't enough. So obviously, he needs a stricter training camp so he can be more conditioned, he can be better, and he can be ready mentally and physically, you know, to take the fight to Alexander Usyk, because the only way I see people beating Usyk is to fight, not box. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Robert Garcia stating that Anthony Joshua needs a stricter camp, of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.